Hello, my name is Gabe. I'm an animator. Well, almost an animator. I have a few more months of school and I'm finished and be trying to get my job. And today I'm going to do a top 10. As you can tell, I do 2D animation, I do stop motion animation, I do 3D animation. Basically, all animation. Literally sitting right above my computer is all my books on animation. It's like 10 books, plus up there's more books. All my movies right below that. My animation desk right behind me. You know, I love Disney for animation. You know, Nine Old Men were amazing at bringing these 12 rules to us that we abide by to this day. Sitting in front of me is not just, they're all the same book basically. We're talking about the 12 rules and timing. I'm not going to get into 12 rules, but I'm going to do top 10 movies of Disney Animation Studios. Now I'm going to set some rules. They can't be Pixar. And they can't be live action. They have to be animated. And I have my top 10. I have most of the Disney movies. I'm missing a couple out of my collection, but here we go. Now my number 10 choice is Snow White. Now, this is the first feature film Disney movie. It's actually not my favorite story out of Disney, but the animation in it's one of my favorites. These personalities they put with the dwarfs, hi ho, hi ho. Off to Work We Go is one of my favorite songs. Had it from my ringtone for a long time. So Snow White is number 10. Number 9, Jungle Book. The jazz soundtrack, the animation, everything was amazing. And this was extremely hard for me to find. I have a VHS copy, but I wanted it on DVD because I could throw it on my computer and scrub through it and watch frame per frame animation. And all I can say is Mowgli was amazing. This is just an amazing movie by Disney. And it's the 19th movie out of all of Disney films. Number 8 is 101 Dalmatians. Now, this is by far one of my favorite movies of all time. Most of my favorite movies, are animated. I have a few others, I have a lot of others. I love cinema, but the story, adapted from the book. I have read the book. The book is amazing, but Disney did so much bring life to these characters that you never saw. And this is the first time they used a Xerox copier. It was a machine they used to get your pencil artwork from paper to the cell. And it was the first time they used that. And I have a teacher who worked on 100 Dalmatians and a lot of stuff afterwards, and how much their machine shut down while they were working on this film. One time they left it unplugged and stuff like that. It was just amazing how it worked. Now, I fight between this movie being here, but it is one of my favorite movies. 7 is Pocahontas, and I fight because it's not my favorite story. I don't watch this a lot. I do watch it for the animation aspect, but it's not one of my favorite stories. It's one of my wife's favorite stories. And this was from when I was a kid, so yeah, it's one of my favorite movies for the nostalgia reasons, not for it being an amazing story, but the animation in this is amazing, and that's one of the reasons I can handle watching it so many times with my wife. Now, number 6, I fought between putting this here or within my top 5 because I watch it so much, and that is Beauty and the Beast. Now, the only reason I say it should be higher in my list is because Glen Keane, my favorite 2D animator, worked on so much stuff, you name it, he worked on it at Disney. From their Renaissance, as they call it. Lion King, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Pocahontas. And wow, he did an amazing job. Now, this animation, the story is one of my favorites, Beauty and the Beast. Who doesn't love that story? But the transformation of the Beast to the human was an amazing feat of animation. The slow picking up of his body and everything about that was just amazing. And that was Glenn Keane's work. Now, number 5 is Aladdin. Just because I love it. Animation's great, story's great. You know, the monkey, Abu, amazing. Magic carpet, amazing. You know, they bring life to a carpet with no eyes, nothing. Just a carpet. And the genie was one of my favorite characters of all time, you know. He had sequences of, since he was a genie, he could take you anywhere he wanted at that time. So these music parts that he did with the genie were like, oh, we're here, we're there, we're here, we're there, just because he was the genie, and it made that work so much better. So many sets within that. Amazing. I don't like any of the sequels. Maybe the first sequel, but by far, this is number 4 is The Little Mermaid. Another Glenn Keane's amazing animation. And how can I say this? Amazing. I'm going to say that a lot. The music, the sense of being underwater, the way her hair flows, everything from animation to movie. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Number 3, Lion King. I grew up on this movie. Saw it in theaters when I was a kid. Watched the VHS. I burned out a VHS of this. You know, Hakuna Matata is one of my favorite sayings from this movie. Timon and Pumbaa, I loved, you remember Pogs? I had a Timon and Pumbaa Pog. Everything was about Lion King when I was a kid. I had a Simba watch. I had everything Lion King. My sheets were Lion King, everything when I was a kid. And that was my favorite Disney animated when I was a kid. Now we're going to move into the film that I love. And I want to see more 2D, but Disney has reflected that 3D is the way right now. So that's why I'm a 3D artist, so I'd love to see it. But number 2, Wreck-It Ralph. Wow, is all I can say. Wreck-It Ralph is one of my favorite movies of all time. It brings together video games, which is another thing that was a big part of my life, and Disney. And they actually brought real video games, Zangief from Street Fighter, Sonic, Qbert, Pac-Man Ghost, a ton of characters are in here. And that's what made it for me, was not just the fact that it's great animation and it's Disney, but video game characters and real licensed video game characters. Now my number 1 of all time, Tangled. Now this changes often between movies, but so far Tangled always stays there. From the character Flynn Rider to Maximus, this felt like an old school Disney movie brought into the 3D world. From the musical Mother Knows Best to the action sequences, when they're running from the guards under the Ugly Duckling, this is just an amazing, her hair, everything about it, animation to that was amazing. Now, I'm going to talk about something for animators every time, and this is that one. It's either going to be a book, an article I read, something on each top 10. Frank and Ollie is a movie every animator should. Oh, if you don't know who Frank and Ollie are, they are the part of the 9 Old Men. These are the 2 famous ones. They actually wrote The Illusion of Life, a book that I have, which I'll talk about next time. My cat chewed my cover. and it's a book, and I mean it's a movie that everyone should check out that wants to know how animation was made in these times. 70 minutes long. It talks about them making the movie, talks about them, everything that encompassed Disney at the time. And I think every animator should check it out. It's pretty cheap. I actually got it from my movie club for like free. I just had to pay $2 shipping. And it just went into my Disney collection. Didn't watch it for months, and then I finally put it in one day because I didn't even know what it was. And it turns out to be one of my favorite things of all time. I watch it a ton because it talks about the 12 rules, just everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be putting up more top 10s. My next top 5, it will actually be top 5 Pixar movies. I'll be putting that up in a couple days. Hope you guys enjoy.